Welcome to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Rain hampered game one yesterday here in Fayetteville, and the wet weather has carried over to today. That does not stop the Razorback fans. They are here in force. They are hoping to see some Hogs softball history made. Tiana Bell had the big hit, a grand slam that put them ahead for good yesterday. And this is maybe history for Arkansas. One more win. It'd be their first ever trip to the Women's College World Series. Something Duke was able to do for the first time 2 years ago. Senior Amina Vega was a part of that team. She and the Blue Devils need a win today to keep their hopes alive for another trip to Oklahoma City. The winner of this Fayetteville Super Regional in their first game in Oklahoma City will face the winner of the Lincoln Super Regional. And with that, we say hello on Saturday. Great to have you with us, along with NCAA Hall of Famer Carol Bruggeman. I'm Mark Neely. I tell you what, yesterday was a mental and physical grind for both teams with that 4-hour rain delay in the second inning.
And after the rain delay, that Arkansas offense was on full display, very explosive. But Duke has been here before, facing 3 elimination games in the regional. They know how to play best when it matters most.
So let's recap game one from yesterday for you. Kyrie Rodriguez cranked a home run, 2-run shot. That gave Duke a 3-2 lead, and then that's when the tarp came out and the rain delay began.
And Duke brought in veteran Cassidy Curd mid-count with a lead, and that decision backfired as Tiana Bell hit a grand slam to put Arkansas on top. And senior Carly Davidson, well, she continued the firepower with the exclamation point, a 3-run walk-off home run to seal the victory.
14-5, Arkansas wins it. They run ruled them in 5 innings, which has been really part of the plan for the Razorbacks. All 4 NCAA tournament games for them this year have all been wins and have all been run rule wins. But Duke, what can they do here? They have to win to force a decisive game tomorrow. How do they make that happen, though?
Well, Duke has to be better in the circle. They had 8 walks yesterday, 6 of those scored. Duke has one of the best hitting teams in the country, but it will not matter if Duke does not have a much improved pitching performance.
Yeah, those free passes, a big problem yesterday. 8 walks, 6 of those 8 runners came around to score. Duke needs a win to force that winner take all game tomorrow. Arkansas 1 win away from school history in their first ever Women's College World Series. Game 2 of this best of 3 Fayetteville Super Regional from Bogle Park getting ready. Fans, they are ready for sure. We are delayed about an hour, but we're going to get this rolling here. Duke is the home team in this game. That means they take the field first, and we'll see Cassidy Curd in the circle.
And the most important game of the season, they hand the ball to their most seasoned veteran in the circle. Cassidy Curd has been the ace of this staff, not only this year, but really throughout her entire career. They're going to need a big performance from her today in the circle.
Let's take a look at the Razorback starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One. Tiana Bell in the cleanup spot has been everything they hoped for when she transferred over from Cal.
And brings a little personality plus to the Arkansas lineup. Not only that big bat, but also gets the team going.
All right, Fayetteville is buzzing, folks. The 1 hour delay didn't faze them one iota. Reagan Johnson steps in, first pitch on the way. That's a strike. Off we go, game 2 from Fayetteville. Good numbers in the tournament for Reagan with those 6 hits.
Well, she has elite speed. It's so important for Duke to keep Johnson off base, a true triple threat. Mainly uses her short game, the bunt slap. See the left side of the infield pulled in because of that. Have to respect that speed.
Johnson takes away. 2 balls and a strike. Reagan Johnson, Carol alluded to the 20 steals she has this year, has not been caught. That's 20 of the 33 successful steals as a team they have.
Yeah, Johnson, as she goes, so the offense goes. This is a very powerful Arkansas offense. Tops in the country, top 10 in the country in scoring, top 15 in RBI. I mean, they can score in a hurry, but Reagan Johnson gives him that speed at the top.
Chap towards short, quick play. Nicely made by Jessica Oakland. And that's the way the game begins. The heat is on the senior in the circle, Cassidy Curd. When she's rolling well, what can we expect?
Well, and she's been there, done that with these elimination games. She's a power pitcher, going to work in the upper 60s for velocity, has a very good curveball, rise ball, screwball combination. Everything has a little upspin on it. You can see a lot of fly ball outs, has a lot of confidence in that changeup this year. And that's a pitch, to me, she is going to have to use today to equalize this Arkansas offense, which really can time up the velocity pitches.
True freshman Brindley Bain bats here with 1 out. Very patient hitter. It is not unusual for her to start ahead in the count, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Look at those numbers.
She has elite strike zone awareness for a freshman. I can't say I've seen a freshman really throughout the entire coaching career and just over the years of watching a lot of softball. I mean, she does not give in to getting her swing off if that pitch is out of the zone. And that has put her in the top 20 in walks in the country. Also hits in the 2 spot for Arkansas. She's one of the best double hitters in the country. Just an elite hitter for a freshman.
That's a strike. 3-1. As you saw in the NCAA tournament, she has 6 hits and 7 walks. Just finds a way to get on base. Here's the 3-1. Curd has come back from down 3-0 to run this full.
I like the tempo Curd is showing today. Much different than yesterday. Yesterday, pitched from behind the entire time. Really was almost pitching defensively versus aggressively.
It's going to get out of play. I mean, the appearance for Curd yesterday in game 1 was short, and it was not good. And if you're Duke, you're looking at Cassidy. If she can even just throw a scoreless inning here to start this game, that's a big boost for this Blue Devils team. Huge
mental boost. There's no doubt about it. Yesterday, they had a hard time keeping Arkansas from scoring in any inning. And with Arkansas, the amount of extra base hits they have, home runs they have, when you give up those free passes like Duke did yesterday, 8 free passes in the game. Well, now those solo home runs become multi-run home runs, very difficult to come back from.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming here for Brindley Bain. That's her 50th walk of the season, with only 18 strikeouts and 8 walks now here in the NCAA tournament.
I just shake my head at the freshman hitter in Bain. Hitters want to hit. They want to swing the bat. It is so difficult to leave it on your shoulder and take the walk, but not Brindley Bain. Just ice in her veins to look at a pitch that's really close to the strike zone, but her eye is something special, her ability to draw walks.
Ball 1 to Ella McDowell, the third baseman. He was an on-base machine yesterday. Had 3 walks of her own just in yesterday's game. Scored 4 times, was officially 1 for 1 in game 1 against Duke.
Well, you mentioned it, Mark. This is an important inning for the Duke defense. Yesterday, Arkansas had their way with the Duke pitchers, and the Duke defense just had runners on base consistently. The big hits when they needed it, and for Duke to throw up a 0 here, that would go a long way in their confidence for the game.
Curd misses up and in. Cassidy Curd, we mentioned, she just threw a third of an inning in yesterday's game. 22 pitches, gave up 3 earned runs with 2 walks. She was tagged with the loss in the game. Speed low, 3 balls and a strike.
I like that Curd is going to that off-speed pitch. Can't find the command yet, but she's got to continue with it, not give up on that pitch. Arkansas hitters are too good to throw 1 speed.
Now takes a strike. And Ella had 3 walks of her own yesterday. Another deep count. 3-2. Bain at first, 1 out, just underway. Shot towards third. That's speared. Jones to second for 1, to first safe. They do get the lead runner, forcing Bain at second base. And McDowell will run with 2 outs.
Well, excellent defense here from Jones. Moves her feet well, gets that throw up nice and high for a good exchange for Amina Vega. This play is very close at first base. McDowell clearly safe, but that was a big pitch from Cassidy Curd on full count to draw the ground ball out.
20th pitch of the inning so far for Curd, fouled back. She had the big hit yesterday.
Well, Tiana Bell really changed the game with 1 swing. Got a pitch up in the zone and promptly delivered it over the center field fence. It was a grand slam. Arkansas never looked back. Yesterday, the plan against Tiana Bell was to work her to the outer half of the plate. She likes to pull the ball, has power to the pull side. And when Duke pitching could locate that pitch, they had success against Tiana Bell. Some foul balls, some swings and misses. But if you miss over the heart of the plate, see what happens with Tiana Bell.
Big deep breath. 22 pitches, 11 balls, 11 strikes from Curd so far. Bell does it again. This one, a 2-run shot to left. Another no-doubter off the bat, her 18th of the year. And the Razorback fans on their feet early.
Well, Tiana Bell is in a groove. She gets another pitch up in the zone. This one is inside, but it's not inside enough. She's able to clear her hips, clear her hands, and this is what Tiana Bell does, right into the heart of the Duke defense. A 2-out, 2-run home run to put Arkansas on top.
Hogs here, thanks to home run 18 for Tiana Bell, RBI 62 and 63. Dakota Kennedy followed the grand slam that Bell hit yesterday with a home run of her own as they went back to back. Kennedy, who has the brace on the right knee, an injury that's prevented her from playing defensively. It has limited her to the DP role, but it's a role she has performed well. Right back up the middle into center field. Kennedy has a base hit. She had 3 hits yesterday in game 1 and adds another here.
You can't say enough about just her mentality, her attitude after the lower leg injury. A lot of young ladies would be down for the count, feel sorry for themselves. Not Dakota Kennedy. She doesn't play defense right now and doesn't have the speed that she had earlier in the season. But what she can do is what you just saw. She still can swing the bat and has helped her team offensively.
Brings up the second baseman, Carly Davidson, who's having an absolutely tremendous NCAA tournament. Had a 3-run homer to finish off the run rule yesterday in game 1. And is hitting .500 in the NCAA tournament, 6 for 12. Absolutely on fire. Her slugging, her OPS over 1,400 in the NCAA tournament.
And she's in the 6th spot of the Arkansas lineup. Now you'd expect that.
Well, we welcome those of you that have been watching on ESPN2. We welcome you to Vogel Park in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Tiana Bell has hit a 2-run homer here in the top of the first. The Razorbacks, that's a hit by pitch. The Razorbacks are the visiting team here on their home field for game 2. They won game 1, run ruling Duke yesterday. The fans are here. We started an hour late due to weather, but they are in force because the Razorback win would be historical tonight. It would make them get to Oklahoma City for the first time ever to the Women's College World Series.
And they have been so close so many years. Is this the team? Is this the year? Arkansas is 1 win away from making that happen.
High fives from head coach Courtney Deifel for the early fast start for the Razorbacks here. And their counterpart, Marissa Young, has gone out to the circle to visit with Cassidy Curd, their senior veteran who got the start here in a game that Duke has to win. Duke's a team that made their first trip to the Women's College World Series 2 years ago when they won the Super Regional at Mizzou.
Yeah, Duke has been in these eliminations games before. They had to win 3 of them at the regional, at the Durham Regional on their home field, and they did so. They were able to play their best when it mattered most. But right now, yesterday, a lot of troubles in the circle for Duke. They gave up 8 walks, 6 of those scored. Another walk here early for Curd, scored on the home run from Bell, made it a 2-run home run instead of a solo shot. This is an important part of the game, even though we're only in the top of the first inning for Cassidy Curd.
It's NCAA Hall of Famer Carol Bruggeman. I'm Mark Neely. Happy to have you with us. Italia Rio, senior shortstop for the Hogs. The 7th batter to come up here in the top of the first inning. Carol, you mentioned it. Arkansas has been in this position where one more win gets them to Oklahoma City 2 times in their history, including last year. Sharply hit into center field. Remember, the lead runner is Kennedy with that bad right leg. So it's a base hit, station to station. Rijo a hit, and the bases are loaded. That's going to load them up. Kaylee Wyckoff. They had a grand slam yesterday from Bell that gave them the lead for good. That was their 9th as a team on the season and the 3rd of the year for Bell, by the way. Kaylee Wyckoff has 1 grand slam of her own this year.
There's just no break in this Arkansas lineup this year. Top 10 in the country in scoring, and when you hit that type of elite company, it means you're hitting up and down the lineup, something Arkansas has been doing all season long.
Well, Carol, this is only the top of the first inning, but this already feels like a moment in this game for Duke that they have to limit this to just a 2-run first.
There is no doubt about it. After watching the struggles in the circle yesterday for Duke, went through several pitchers. This is critical.
Not taking the smile away from Coach Marissa Young.
I think there was a little visitor in the Arkansas dugout over there.
A squirrel jumped in the dugout. Yeah, that's why she was smiling, Coach Young. Like, catching some humor there. and sent some players scattering the Razorback dugout. And there is strike three. That's a big strike three, and maybe the rally squirrel in the Arkansas dugout is a Duke fan, because that just ended the inning.
A huge pitch for Cassidy Curd, but an even bigger swing for Tiana Bell. She gets the Hogs on the board first.
Tiana Bell's two-run homer in the top of the first has given the Hogs the early 2-0 lead as Duke comes to bat in the bottom of the first inning, facing sophomore Peyton Burnham.
And Peyton Burnham has pitched the second most innings all season long for Arkansas. She is ready for this moment. Has a real spin profile of working north and south. You can see a variety of pitches from her in the circle.
Let's take a look at the Duke lineup that she will face, presented by Capital One. It's a very impressive offensive lineup of its own, Carol.
And Duke is top 5 in the country in terms of hits, runs, their ability to light it up and down the lineup. Duke is never out of a game because of their ability to hit the ball.
Deanna Jennings slaps it foul back. Jennings and Vega at the top of the order. That 1-2 punch have been incredible all season. You see the OPS over 1,100 for Deanna.
There's not too many better 1-2 punches, in my opinion, in the country than Deanna Jennings and Amina Vega. They have been hitting back-to-back throughout their entire career. Deanna Jennings, a little more of a short game specialist, but also can hit the ball over the fence. Really a true triple threat. Following it up with Vega.
Softly hit towards third, firing to first. McDowell got her. Ella McDowell showing off her arm. That was a bullet to first base to nip the speedy Deanna Jennings.
Well, this ball's mishit. And if you're on offense, you love it. You're on defense, you've got to move your feet and get to the ball, get rid of it quickly. Ella McDowell does all she can. This is a very close play. Marissa Young has called for a video review.
Safe call, the out call at first base. That play is under review.
Yeah, under review. And from what we saw from that first base camera, looking like Duke has a serious argument here.
McDowell does all she can, gets the ball up off the ground as quickly as she can. A nice stretch from Bell.
Maybe not.
But it looks like Jennings' toe hits the front of the base. You're looking to see is the ball in the web of the glove before Jennings' toe hits the base.
I'm starting to lean the other way now, that this call may stand. Yeah, I think she's out.
Looks like her toe is up in the air right before it comes back down. It is very close, but I agree. I do not believe this will be overturned.
So for Duke, this is a must-win game for them. Arkansas has already scored 2 in the first. I can understand burning a challenge here early to take a shot.
After review, the call has been confirmed. We have an out That is Duke's first challenge. They have one left.
Crew Chief Steve Gould giving the result there confirmed. So enough on the video to show that indeed she was out. And that leaves Duke with one challenge. Mina Vega swinging at the first pitch, popped up to McDowell. Well, involved in the first two plays of the game, 2 outs. And what can we expect from Peyton Burnham?
Well, Burnham really stretches the zone vertically, and that's why you see the 2 outs we've seen in this game. Some ground ball outs, some fly ball outs. She works rise ball, drop ball combination, works in the upper to mid 60s, and also has a very confident changeup that she will throw early and often.
Fifth career NCAA tournament start. You know, last year when the Super Regional here got underway, they got some really bad news on the Arkansas side that Burnham and Robin Herron had food poisoning. And that affected things. And of course, Ole Miss got hot, won the Super Regional, and it was another instance of the close but didn't happen of getting to the Oklahoma OKC in the Women's College World Series for Arkansas.
That's been heartbreaking for them here in Fayetteville. They want to change the script this year.
Oakland, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Ella McDowell is going to find herself involved in all 3 defensive plays. 9-pitch inning for Peyton Burnham. Sets him down in order in the first.
NCAA Softball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Well, they average over 3,000 fans here at Bogle Park. They are here in force again tonight. And of course, you have a connection to the Arkansas head coach, Courtney Deifel, from your time coaching together at Louisville.
We had such a good time coaching together. Coach Deifel, the pitching coach during our time in Louisville, had a lot of fun, got to win a lot of championships together, but most importantly, got a front row seat to see how that young lady operates and just how much she loves the game and takes that passion and her ability to develop talent. And what she has done here at Arkansas cannot be understated. Just year in and year out, one of the top programs in the country. Certainly there's nothing more she would like to add to that resume than a trip to the Women's College World Series.
Cassidy Kurt had a 36-pitch first inning. You compare that with a 9-pitch first for Arkansas's Peyton Burnham. Kennedy Miller, the 9-hole hitter, the only batter that did not come up in the top of the first for the Razorbacks.
You know, the only saving grace for that inning for Duke, it certainly could have been a lot worse, Mark. They were hitting the ball hard. Curd was falling behind, could not get her changeup to have command of that pitch. And so to get out of that inning only giving up 2 runs, it's certainly not a win for Duke, but certainly a confidence booster for Duke. Because remember, this is a Duke team that's one of the top scoring teams in the country. They hit a lot of home runs as well.
Arkansas 2 in the first. They left the bases loaded. Strike on the inner part to Kennedy Miller, the Razorback catcher. 1 for 3 game in game 1 against Duke yesterday for Kennedy.
Something Curd has done here in the last several batters is fall behind. She's worked herself back into a full count. But when you are constantly pitching from behind, you have to bring the ball too much over the plate. Against a team like Arkansas, over half of their wins this year are run rule victories. That just cannot happen.
Already her 3rd full count of the game. Miller fouls that one off.
And this is where that off-speed pitch is the difference maker. Curd does have a good off-speed pitch. She has proven she can command that pitch. We haven't seen it yet today. She needs to get that confidence up, keep throwing that pitch, keep believing in that pitch to throw Arkansas off balance.
And a leadoff walk for Kennedy Miller. We mentioned Courtney Deifel. And the many accomplishments really for Arkansas, it's kind of what happened from their inception in '97 until Courtney got here.
And just took it to a whole new level. That's an expectation now under her leadership. It's the expectation to not only make it to the NCAA tournament, but to continue to advance into super regionals. Deep postseason runs are something that's just the standard of excellence here now under her since she's been a head coach.
Strike to Reagan Johnson. Alyssa Jaquez, who was the starting pitcher yesterday for Duke, up in the bullpen now. This must-win game for the Blue Devils.
Well, it's been the free passes. That has been the nemesis for Duke. There's no doubt about it. Curd already has 2 today. The leadoff walk now here in the top of the 2nd. And of course you want to stretch the margins. You want to live on the edge against Arkansas, but not at the expense of giving up the free pass.
It's down in the dirt, so it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Already coming up near 50 pitches on Curd. And her 4th full count already in the game.
And something that didn't get talked about enough with this Arkansas offense is their ability to be disciplined in the zone. It's easy to talk about their home runs, their extra base hits, but the amount of walks that they draw throughout the course of the season has also been impressive.
Second base, Vega, tag. Safe at first. He did get the out with Miller racing by her. The lead runner erased.
Well, nice play by Vega. You would like to see Kennedy Miller just stop there, force her to get into some sort of rundown, make it harder for Vega to tag her out. Literally 2 steps and stop, because now that ball has to go to second base. Instead, she gets the tag and a chance to get 2, but Johnson is so quick, that doesn't happen.
Ooh, Ridley Baines swinging at a first pitch that was out of the zone. And strike 1, very uncharacteristic.
And that's the changeup. That's the difference maker. The Cassidy Curd, I'd love to continue to see her throw that pitch.
And quickly, Curd gets ahead 0-2. Curd is one of 3 players on this Duke roster. He pitched in the Women's College World Series 2 years ago, along with Deanna Jennings and Amina Vega. Whacked to center field, hit well, but Jennings comes in 3 or 4 steps and makes the catch on that line drive hit by Bain.
I mean, you can't say enough about Brinley Bain. Even her outs are loud outs. I mean, she is just savvy for a freshman hitter. So impressed with her hitting the 2 spot of this very high-powered offense.
With 2 outs, Ella McDowell, the third baseman, reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run in the first.
Well, Reagan Johnson is Arkansas's best steal threat. They don't steal a lot of bases as a team, but Reagan Johnson, she's a perfect 20 for 20 on the year. I look for her to be in motion sometime on this at-bat. But the challenging part is Kyrie Rodriguez, the catcher for Duke, has a few things to say about that. She's one of the best in the ACC. She's thrown out 8 would-be base stealers this season.
Yeah, she's 8 of 19, putting her a little over 40%. Really, if you throw out 30%, that's really good. So that gives you an idea.
Fantastic.
The numbers on Ella McDowell. Just in her sophomore season for the Richmond Texas native. SEC second team this year for Ella. Also made the SEC all-defensive team. It's been a great defensive team, not only this year, but last year for Arkansas. Look out. It's going to get away, and Reagan Johnson doesn't have to worry about attempting to steal now. She'll take second on a wild pitch.
This one is a rise ball. It gets away from Curd. And Rodriguez does all she can, really gets a straight arm. Sometimes catchers can keep a bent arm, not realizing they have a little more distance they can reach up. Not Rodriguez, she was fully extended. That pitch just out of her range.
And now McDowell walks. She had 3 free passes yesterday. Second walk of the inning. Third of the game issued by Curd. And if you're Duke, this is not who you want to see coming at the plate right now.
No, both home runs in this Super Regional hit by Tiana Bell. They've been off Cassidy Curd. I mean, and both pitches have been up in the zone that she's hit. I know Curd's trying to throw that rise ball up and in on Bell. It has not been impactful. I look for them to work her away.
She is so aggressive. Here's the earlier bat that she hit out.
How about this for a hack? I mean, the pitch is up and in, up by her chin. It does not matter. She opens up those hips and just takes a hack. This is a very confident hitter right now. And you take a look at this, you look at the amount of home runs Duke has hit. 5th in the country. They can score quickly with one swing of the bat. But look at the amount of home runs they've given up. There's only 308 teams that play softball, so you can do the math there. And this is a situation, Marissa Young coming out to talk about it. You know, you can't really do an intentional, unintentional walk. You've got Dakota Kennedy in the on-deck circle, just as impactful in the regional and the super regional. We haven't seen too many off-speed pitches yet to Bell. Would like to see that. Also working the outer half of the plate. You cannot throw her anything up and in right now. That has been just lethal for Duke.
You know, when they lost Bree Ellis, National Player of the Year, trying to fill those shoes is almost impossible. But if anybody has, it's been Tiana Bell coming over from Cal.
And not only the way she hits the ball, that's what they needed. Someone to replace Bree Ellis's bat, which you're right, you can't do, but you can come close with the amount of home runs, RBI. But most importantly, I mean, Bree Ellis had personality plus, still does, and that was something initially early on with this team. Coach Deifel was looking for someone to bring that type of personality, and you can see that Tiana Bell stepped into that role too, just by the way she plays, the way she celebrates for her teammates, of course after her home runs as well.
Yeah, Coach Deifel did tell us it took a little bit of time for that personality to show itself. Well, 6th full count already for Curd. And this time it's 2 on, 2 outs, and a full count. The cleanup hitter, Tiana Bell. That's to right field, coming towards the line. Lamar just into foul territory. Layla makes the catch, and that is a big out for Duke. They keep it 2-0. For those of you watching on ESPN News, flip over to ESPN2. We will continue on E2.
Well, Peyton Burnham, we talk a lot about Arkansas offense, but the defense in the circle, the pitching staff for Arkansas, Peyton Burnham really shut down Fordham. This is a pitching staff that has a 1-2 punch with Robin Herron, Peyton Burnham, that has 2 pitchers that have a sub-2.0 ERA. You just don't see that anymore in 2026. Take a look at what she's done in her 2 appearances, the 6 strikeouts. Arkansas is really a complete team. They are in the top 15 in the country in scoring, ERA, and defense. You just don't see that type of balance from too many teams throughout the country, and a big reason why Arkansas is 1 win away from getting to Oklahoma City.
Robin Herron, the other part of that equation, kind of their 1-2 punch. At the top of their starting rotation. Marina Jones, cleanup hitter for Duke, leading off, bottom of the 2nd, 2-0. Arkansas leading on a first inning 2-run home run from Tiana Bell. Third strikeout for Peyton Burnham. Well, the Eastern Conference Finals continues tonight, 8 Eastern over on ABC. Knicks leading the Cavs 2-0, heading into Game 3. In Cleveland, coverage begins with NBA tip-off 7:30 Eastern. Also available on the ESPN app. Peyton Burnham earning all SEC second team this year. She faces Layla Lamar. You know, something we did not mention in yesterday's game about Layla, of course, she is the daughter of the head coach Marissa Young and husband James Lamar. And Marissa Young has not just one, but 2 daughters playing in the Super Regionals.
I mean, it's unbelievable how special for Coach Young. UCLA also 1 win away from heading to the Women's College World Series, but she got to coach them a long time ago, 1 year when she was first hired at Duke, and didn't have a team to coach yet while she was getting acclimated and recruiting players to come, and that's just really blossomed into now 2 high-level collegiate players who are playing at the most special time of year on teams that have a shot to get to Oklahoma City.
You know, I asked Coach Young a couple of days ago when we met with her, you know, when Layla decided that she was going to leave Florida after her freshman year, was it a slam dunk she would come to Duke? And Coach Marissa Young said, no, it was not. You know, I had 2 hats. I had the mom hat and I had the coaching hat, and the coaching hat was on quite a bit more. Third base, boy, the ball's finding Ella McDowell tonight. And that's not a bad thing if you're a Razorback fan. She is magnificent at the hot corner.
This Arkansas defense does not get enough credit. I mean, first of all, she's positioned perfectly, and she gets the ball so quickly. And when you get the ball quickly as a third baseman, you don't have to throw it. Sometimes third basemen rush. McDowell takes a little shuffle step toward first, gathers herself. But this is a defense that is just stingy at giving up hits. Look at that fielding percentage, 6th in the country. The amount of double plays they turn, that's 3rd in the country. Tough to score against this Arkansas defense.
It almost looked like Mathis kind of checked up on her swing, but hit that to pretty deep center field. But caught by Johnson. 2-0 Arkansas after 2.
There is nothing like the Women's College World Series.
It all gets underway on Thursday. We are right around the corner. Tennessee has already punched their ticket. Jordy Fromm in Nebraska looking pretty good right now. They're up big. Game 2 against Oklahoma State. They hang on to that. Nebraska is going to punch their ticket.
How about all the parity across the country? We've got Tennessee, who's heading to Oklahoma City. Congrats to the Lady Vols, but we've got 2 if games coming tomorrow already. Florida came back, beat Texas Tech. Oklahoma came back, beat Mississippi State. The parity is real.
Cody Kennedy leading off. Arkansas trying to make it there for the first time ever. This is the 5th time they've been in a super regional, including back-to-back seasons. Each of those 5 trips has been a bit different. Of course, the first came back in 2018. They had to go to Norman. It was their first super in school history. Got swept the 2 games. Check swing, no swing. Next time was against Arizona in 21, and Coach Deifel said, it seemed like that was Mike Candrea's last year. There was some magic going on with the Wildcats. Kind of explain what happened there. That's sharply hit, reaching. Well, can't come up with it. It's already in the right field corner, and I'll tell you what, she may be wearing a brace on that right leg, but she got around first base pretty quickly there. That's a double. 13th of the year.
Dakota Kennedy wraps her barrel, almost casts her barrel around this pitch, and Baker cannot get to it. There's too much pace on it. And you see that right leg injury. It's preventing her now from playing in the outfield and preventing her from stealing a lot of bases, quite frankly. She could beat out a lot of infield hits, but no matter for Dakota Kennedy. She has been driving the ball well and really thriving in this DP role.
Harley Davidson takes ball 1. Well, after Arizona, the next time was the following year in 22 against Texas, and that's the one that I think that first really hurt for Arkansas when they won game 1 against Texas and then lost the next 2 here. And then last year lost the winner-take-all game to Ole Miss. Just trying to change the narrative now.
Yes, and a variety of things. I mean, you think about Ole Miss last year. They were a team that got hot at the end of the season, equating to Arizona State this year, who was a team that a month ago didn't even know if they'd make their conference tournament. And not only did they make their conference tournament, they won it, punched their ticket into the NCAA tournament, won the regional in College Station, and now really are 1 game away. Texas has their backs against the wall tonight to get to Oklahoma City, and just there is magic that happens in the postseason. There's no doubt about it.
That's a 4-pitch walk. And the first 2 are on here. There's a look at it. Again, they won game 1 against Texas back in 2022. What's going to happen in 2026? We'll see. Right now, I mean, it's still just a 2-0 game here in the top of the 3rd, but Razorbacks have the first 2 on. You see Coach Deifel talking with Matt Michael, their assistant. Does so much for this team, including that impressive defense. He's really kind of the architect behind that.
And moved to third base, moved to the third base coaching box this year. Now, he was the head coach at Nevada for many years, so it's nothing new for him, but it's new this year at Arkansas. Coach Deifel moving back into the dugout. And Coach Deifel said, you know what, I really like it. As the head coach and the pitching coach, I'm calling pitches on defense, so I'm not really engaging with the team. And when I was in the third base coaching box on offense, I wasn't really engaging with the team. Now she feels like she can talk to the pitchers in between innings. She can celebrate with them on offense, and certainly trusts Matt Michael in the third base box.
Rio, deep center field. It will stay in the park barely on the track. Deanna Jennings raced back to make the catch. That gave this big Hogs crowd a thrill for a moment, but it stayed in the yard.
Riho gets a pitch elevated and continues with her barrel path. This just missed going out. Deanna Jennings so good at playing center field. There was never a doubt she had a beat on that ball right away, knew where the fence was. A huge out for Duke.
Brings up Kaylee Wyckoff. McCurd's already at 75 pitches. With 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. 36 pitch first inning is a big reason why.
And typically has, as she is in this count, fallen behind early in the count.
Wyckoff sends it to left field. KK Mathis into foul ground, had to pick up the pace there at the end. That ball was coming down quickly, but she makes the play. That's a big second out for the Duke defense.
Well, Mathis has to go a long way for this ball in, and lefty up. Any ball hit toward the line, it's going to keep spinning toward the line, and in this case, into foul territory. It's spinning away from Mathis, so she's got to keep her feet moving through the entire catch. Those are 2 big outs for for Duke. Arkansas has won all 4 games, 3 in the regional and yet 1 yesterday in the super regional via run rule. So they can score in a hurry and score early and score often. So every out against this team with runners on base, that's a win for Duke.
Kennedy Miller shoots it foul down the right field side. Miller's hit 3 home runs this year. Number 3 was a 3-run homer against USF on Sunday in the regional clincher. 2 on, 2 outs. Kennedy Miller, who walked her first time up.
Like the way Kurt is attacking. This is one of the very few times she has been ahead in the count. And all pitchers know when you're pitching ahead in the count, you can work a variety of pitches, a variety of zones.
Off her glove. Throw behind the runner at third, but Kennedy wasn't biting. That'll be a base hit. The natural instinct, if you're a pitcher there, is to try to field that, but if she doesn't touch that, that's most likely an easy play for Oakland to end the inning.
Yeah, always a tough decision for a pitcher, especially a lefty. If it's on her glove side. But if you're going to go for it, you've got to really go for it. You've got to make sure you secure that ball. And now the inning is extended. The lineup turns over for Arkansas.
Reagan Johnson 0 for 2 so far tonight. Well, if they were to hit number 10 here, it would be Reagan Johnson's first home run. The way this Razorback team's been playing, don't rule out anything these days.
Well, now with the bases loaded, really the out is at any base for Duke. Wherever the ball takes them, they can get the out, but they are still having to play in so tight because Reagan Johnson has elite speed. And so what that does is it opens up some holes for Reagan Johnson as she can go into her slap game. Look how tight the left side of the infield is playing.
That could be trouble. Nope. Deanna Jennings was playing her to left center. That went to right center, but the speed of Jennings ran it down, and Duke keeps Arkansas off the board in the third. Arkansas's Tiana Bell with a 2-run homer in the first. That has been all the scoring. Razorbacks, by the way, have stranded 8 runners on base, including the bases loaded twice through 3 innings. So Duke comes up in the bottom of the third. But first, you might want to stay up late and watch the game out in Los Angeles. UCLA, did you ever think Carol, that there would be a team that might hit 200 home runs in a season?
Never, not even 187. I mean, just this is the year of the home run. These two programs do it best. They've been in a battle all season long. Individually as well, Megan Grant currently at 40, Kendall Wells at 39. Megan Grant got walked 3 times last night to help her team to the victory, but no more home runs. So stay up late tonight and check out Megan Grant and her teammates as they try to march their way to Oklahoma City. But yeah, I mean, you think about our game and how it's evolved. The bats are better. A lot of people out there played with the white ball. You could pick it up after the 3rd inning and shake it and it would rattle. Well, there's no way you could hit a home run. We've come a long way in the sport, and it's been a lot of fun, not only for the players, but for the fans. And what an exciting year for both UCLA and Oklahoma.
Gabriella Shattuck, who's the DP, true freshman from New Jersey, leads off for Duke. What a really nice NCAA tournament. Half of her hits of the 6 have been home runs. Two balls and a strike. Peyton Burnham, the starting pitcher for the Razorbacks, has set down the first 6 Duke batters of the game. Duke has avoided major trouble. Arkansas stranding 8. It could be a lot worse than 2-0 right now.
And that's what Arkansas has been doing to teams all season long. Over half their victories, run rule victories. All of their victories in the postseason this year, run rule victories. That's what it takes from, for Duke. They've made big pitches and big moments. The defense has played well behind Cassidy Curd. It's kind of the bend don't break mentality right now for the Duke defense.
Bouncy ball, diving stop. McDowell, what else can she do? Ella McDowell is putting on a clinic at 3rd base, and she really has been all season.
I mean, she used to play shortstop and has made this transition to 3rd easily. Look at that lateral movement. Defense always starts with your feet. And she takes off quickly, and yeah, the pitcher says, Peyton Burnham says, way to go, Ella.
Maria Rodriguez, who had a big home run yesterday for Duke, and at that point gave him the lead early. This time Burnham gets ahead 0-2. 9 home runs now for Kyrie, 4 in the NCAA tournament.
Well, I like the tempo Burnham's working at. Gets the ball, gets set, continues to work from ahead. That really keeps your infielders, your outfielders in the game when you're throwing a lot of strikes as a pitcher. And working at a good tempo.
2nd strikeout for Peyton Burnham, and there are 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd.
Well, Burnham loves to stretch the zone vertically. That's a low rise ball that's got a late break, also breaking inside, so it's breaking up and in. Very difficult to hit a pitch that's moving in 2 planes. She gets the strikeout.
Redshirt senior Jada Baker getting the start at first base. That was the one change for Duke in their lineup in game 1. Timeout here for Duke.
Taylor White thinking what we're thinking up here. Peyton Burnham's working at a good tempo. Like, hey, let's take control here. Let's slow down a little bit. Sometimes you just have to break the rhythm of a pitcher, and right now Burnham, first time through the lineup, no damage done. Not even a base runner yet, so Taylor White, who does a really, just a great job with the Duke offense and the infield play, recognizing that as well. Just wants Baker to take a minute and mainly just break the tempo of the game.
Two balls, no strikes to Baker. Jada, who redshirted her true freshman year back in 2022. Has played a lot of different positions through the years for Duke. Pretty much all the infield spots as well as some outfield.
Well, something that Duke's done in the lineup today, in the elimination game, it's win or go home. Coach Marissa Young's really gone with her veterans, Baker being one of those. Cassidy Curd in the circle, going with the senior in the circle.
Well, I understand the rationale. If you're going to go down, you're going to want to go down with your veterans. And there is the first base runner of the game for Duke. So Baker walks. And we get to the next half inning. Opportunity to get Coach Deifel on the headset. Back to the top of the order in Deanna Jennings. So here's a chance. The two-out base runner. Softly hit right up the line, and a tag put on there by Bell. We'll talk with Coach Deifel when we come back to Fayetteville. Back to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One as we go to the fourth. 2-0 Arkansas leading game 2 here from Bogle Park. Let's chat with the head coach, Courtney Deifel. Brindley Bain's going to lead off this inning. Let me ask you about Brindley. You told me a couple months ago you thought maybe she was the hardest worker you've ever had in this program.
I stand by it.
Good to know. What has made her, the freshman, so special? The plate discipline, everything about it is just so great.
That's who she is. She's just incredibly disciplined in life, and so you can see it carry over. I stand by it that she's one of the hardest workers that we've ever had, and we are a culture of working. And so she doesn't know any other way, and she's going to make sure she does everything she can to be successful.
Coach, Peyton Burnham, the freshman, to Peyton Burnham, the sophomore, pitching in the most important game of the season right now for the Razorbacks. Where have you seen her most growth this year?
Peyton doing exactly what Peyton does. She loves the big moment. She loves to compete. You could see it in her eyes. You can see it in her sway. And so growth there? No, she's a competitor, but she just keeps dealing her defense. She's trusting her defense so much more. And why not when you have Ella McDowell and the rest of our defense making these incredible plays?
McDowell's been incredible at third base. We'll leave
Sure
it there.
has.
Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you. We'll pick.
Head coach Courtney Deifel. She's one of the few I shouldn't say one of the few head coaches. You can't tell if her team's up or down. She is really even keel, and I think that it rolls down to her team. It relaxes them.
Outwardly even keeled, right? Like, Mike Krzyzewski, I think everybody out there knows who he is, a famous.
We welcome those of you now watching on ESPN. This is game 2 of the Fayetteville Super Regional. Arkansas run-ruled Duke in game 1 yesterday. They have a 2-0 lead here. A win by the Razorbacks would send them to the Women's College World Series for the first time in school history. Duke trying to stay alive. Slow roller hit by Bain, gobbled up by the second baseman, and Amina Vega throws her out. There's the first out of the Top of the fourth. Arkansas is the visiting team here on their home field since it is game 2. And Mallory Wheeler has come in and taken over for the starting pitcher for Duke, Cassidy Curd.
Cassidy Curd really pitched around some trouble in the first 3 innings. They turned to Mallory Wheeler, part of a 3-headed monster this year for Duke in the circle. She is very seasoned, also a veteran in her own right, and ready for this big moment.
We can finish the thought we had on Coach Deifel about her. Relaxed demeanor. That's into center field, and a base hit for Ella McDowell, who's been doing it with the glove all game. Now she's on base for a second time, having walked in her last plate appearance.
Well, you know, Mike Krzyzewski used to say, be the face your team needs to see. If you're going into a game where you feel like your team is supposed to win, you know, you're playing a team that's 0-30 and your team's 30-0, then you need to be intense, focused, and vice versa. If you're playing in a moment like this with a World Series on the line, you need to be the face your team needs to see. Calm, confident, all of those things, and I can't agree with you more. Coach Courtney Deifel does exude that. Her team feels that. Now inside there might be all kinds of things happening, but I can promise you that. I know what this moment would mean to her and to Coach Marissa Young, you know, should they get to Oklahoma City.
It's sharply by Bell, but it fades into the glove of Vega. Bell, who has a 2-run home run in the first. That's been the only scoring in this game. Arkansas has left 8 on base through the first 3 innings, leaving the bases loaded twice. And now with 2 outs, up steps Dakota Kennedy, already has a couple of hits. And Duke looking to sophomore Mallory Wheeler here at a key spot to try to keep this a 2-run game. First pitch strike to Kennedy. Dakota single to center her first time up. And last time up in the third, led off and doubled past the first baseman Baker into the right field corner.
Well, I like this pitching change from Duke. Cassidy Curd left Arkansas left 8 runners on base. There was a lot of activity, a lot of base runners, a lot of hits, some walks, and you've got to keep Arkansas off balance. Another way to do that, besides throwing an off-speed pitch, just switch the pitcher. Different tempo, different pitches. And so the game really called for that pitching switch from Duke. It's something they've been doing all season long, pitch by committee. Most of their pitchers do not have complete games, so this is nothing new.
Yeah, Curd threw 82 pitches in her 3 innings of work. Again, got into trouble early with Bell's home run, the 4th batter of the game, and she was down 2-0 and kept it there through her 3 innings of work. As Kennedy is on base once again, she walks and is aboard for a 3rd time tonight.
Just the plate discipline shown from Arkansas in this series. They are so patient, and this is a team that loves to hit. Hitters love to hit. They're not up there a lot of times to keep the bat on their shoulder. They can't wait to swing, but not this Arkansas offense. They've scored a lot of runs over the course of the season because of their plate discipline, ability to draw walks, along with the extra base hits.
That bounces up there. It takes Rodriguez a moment to find it as it goes to the backstop. Both runners advance. McDowell to third, Kennedy down to second base.
Wheeler likes to throw the ball down in the zone, and Rodriguez does not get her glove turned over. She tries to pick it with her fingers toward the ground. Would have liked to seen her turn her glove over, get her whole body in front of that. There was no throw to make. A lot of times catchers will make a pick so they can come up and throw. There was no throw to make. And so now Coach Marissa Young comes out, talks about the plan here. Carly Davison's been one of the hottest hitters in the postseason for Arkansas.
Pitcher Mallory Wheeler played her freshman year last year in Louisiana. Won her first 3 appearances of the season for Duke, including beating Texas A&M and Oklahoma State in the Clearwater Invitational. When we get to the next inning, we'll have a chance to visit with Coach Young. But a key spot here for Duke. They need a win to extend it to a winner-take-all game tomorrow. Hello to Davidson, 2-0.
Well, what's it take to advance in the postseason? It takes a solid pitching performance, solid defense, and it takes some clutch hitting. Arkansas with a chance to cash in on that right now with 2 out hit.
Willie Davison is one of 6 Razorback players who have started all 58 games now this year for Arkansas. And a 4-pitch walk loads the bases. Not the worst thing in the world if you're Duke, but it loads him for Italia-Rio, who got a really good swing off against the starter Curd. Sent it to deep center field their first time up, but the walk's continuing to be an issue for Duke in this series.
I mean, that's been the story of the series. I mean, coming into this game, if Duke wants to have a chance to continue to win this elimination game, play into tomorrow, we knew they had to be much improved in the circle. The amount of free passes they gave up yesterday, that cost them 8 walks, 6 runs scored on that, on their way to 14 that Arkansas had in the run rule victory, and they have been flirting with disaster throughout this game as well. They've been able to get out of some of these innings with the bases loaded.
To first base, down the line, fair. One is in. McDowell, Kennedy to the plate, down to second. Rio doubles and doubles the score to 4-0 Razorbacks.
Well, here's one of those clutch hits. This time it's Rio, rolls over the ball, but is able to sneak it right past Jada Baker. Gets a little bit of a late jump on the ball, but that's what it takes to win in the postseason. Those moments, those opportunities you have with 2 outs, a chance to get some RBI. This time Rio cashes in.
Arkansas now 3 of 7 with runners in scoring position today. They've now scored 10 2-out runs in the 2 games, and we're only in the 4th inning of game 2. Strike to Kaylee Wyckoff. First inning of work here for Mallory Wheeler out of the pen for Duke.
Important part of the game right here. I mean, already have a 4-run lead. Does Arkansas, and you might say, hey, Duke scores a lot of runs as well, one of the top scoring teams in the country, but their pitchers are very stingy at giving up hits, so you want to keep this score reasonable.
Out to left field and right at KK Banthus. But Arkansas gets another key 2-out hit, 2 runs off the bat of Rio. We'll chat with Coach Young of Duke when we come back. Fayetteville, 4-0 Arkansas. Let's chat with the Blue Devils head coach, Marissa Young. You just huddled up the team, had a very brief word with him. Do you mind sharing what you shared with the club?
Yeah, we just have to stay in the present moment, not press, not try to do too much at the plate, just continue to stay locked into our process.
Well, Coach, your offense has proven all year they can put up runs in a hurry, especially with their backs against the wall. What would you like to see from your hitters against Burnham here to get a few more base runners?
You know, it just takes one spark to get this team going, and so I'm confident this second time through the lineup, somebody's going to get it going.
Always appreciate the insight. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Coach Marissa Young, again 2 years ago, won the Super Regional at Mizzou and sent them to their first ever Women's College World Series for a program that's only been around since the beginning of this decade.
It's so impressive what Marissa Young has done. It is an expectation of this program to go deep into the postseason. And what's more impressive this year than ever, Duke's always had a strong offense, but she has almost all new pitchers in the circle this year outside of Cassidy Curd. And they took their lumps early. There's no doubt about it. They had a tough time in the month of February and had a decision to make. Like, look, are we gonna fade? Are we going to fold, or are we going to, find a way to turn this around? And with a lot of the senior leaders, one of them up right now with Amina Vega, they made a decision right then and there, and that pitching staff has continued to get better and better. And with that big offense behind it, that's really led them to this moment.
Yeah, you alluded to it. This would seem to be a spot. 2, 3, and 4 up here. They're down 4-0 now, bottom of the fourth. They need to win to send it to winner-take-all game tomorrow. Only base runner for them through the first 3 innings was the 2-out walk to Baker in the third. And Vega strikes out to begin the inning. Well, Major League Baseball coming your way on Memorial Day Monday on ESPN as the Yankees head to Kansas City. They will take on the Royals. That's at 3:30 Eastern Time. You can catch it live on ESPN. You can also watch the game streaming on the ESPN app. Oakland swinging at the first pitch.
Well, right now, Peyton Burnham firing on all cylinders. She really has good command of all of her pitches today, and that has just stifled this Duke offense. They're one of the top 5 teams in the country in terms of scoring and home runs. But when you're Peyton Burnham and you can stretch the zone vertically, so she throws a rise and a drop, that's really probably the toughest sequence for a hitter to be able to adjust up and down. And then she also has her off-speed firing today.
That was right in on the hands, and somehow Oakland fights it off and drops it into left field. And there's the first hit of the game for the Blue Devils.
Now, this is just 1-2 from Jess Oakland. I'm not even sure that pitch is a strike, Mark. It is inside, and somehow she keeps her hands inside, opens up her hips a little bit, and that allows her to get the barrel on the ball.
There's the second Duke base runner. First hit is Burnham. Skips that up there, and that's going to allow Oakland to take second base.
Well, this one just gets away, and Kennedy Miller can't get over in time. That ball is spinning away from Kennedy Miller. Tough play for the catcher there, but the more you can get your whole body in front of that ball, the better.
That ball's hit well towards left field, and that ball gets out. Just what the Blue Devils needed. They get it from their cleanup hitter, Tyrena Jones, and Duke's right back in the game. It's 4-2. Her 24th home run of the season.
Well, Duke comes into this game top 5 in the country at hitting the long ball, and Tyrena Jones leads the way. Just drives from the backside, elevates this pitch. It's just enough to get out of the park. Coach Young talked about it in her interview. This team just needs a spark, and off it can go.
Suddenly, this game has a whole different vibe to it. Duke is on the board here in the fourth. And they are the home team in this game on the Razorback home field. It's 117 home runs now on the year. That's been a tournament record, a school record. was kind of cruising along. Got Vega on strikes to begin the inning, but Oakland great hitting. Setting up Jones with a home run, but now Lamar behind 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, important batter here for Peyton Burnham. What do you do after you have a little adversity as a pitcher? Do you continue to allow the inning to get away from you, or do you find a way to create an out?
Lamar just got a piece of that. That ball was way up. Jones home run has Duke right back in this, and see some more smiles there in that first base Duke dugout. Now timeout. Taylor White wants to speak with Layla Lamar.
Yeah, it's almost like Lamar had, not to try and get inside the head of Layla Lamar, but it's like she made up her mind to swing before the pitch was even released. That pitch clearly out of the strike zone. Not even sure how she got a piece of it, but she did. And once again, Taylor White takes the time to slow down the game. Peyton Burnham has been working at a very fast tempo.
Layla Lamar did have a solo home run in game 1 yesterday. 16th homer of the season.
This is why Duke is never out of a game, and they seem to find that extra gear when they're in these elimination games. They had to win 3 elimination games at their own regional. But that's a big pitch from Peyton Burnham. She goes to the off-speed pitch for the strikeout. Watch this pitch just fall off the table. So not only is it a slower pitch, it's a drop ball, an off-speed drop down in the zone. You can see how she turns it over, but it drops below the barrel of Layla Lamar, and that's a good sign for Peyton Burnham to be able to bounce back after giving up that home run with a strikeout.
There's KK Mathis, who flied to center in her first at bat. KK was 1 for 3 in game 1 yesterday out in front, but hits it on the ground at third. McDowell throws across to retire the side. But Duke gets what they needed. 2-run blast, Tyrena Jones.
You can never count Duke out ever because of their ability to hit the long ball. This time it's Jones. Cuts the lead in half. This game goes to the 5th.
Well, Tennessee was the first to punch their ticket, Nebraska the second, and they will play the winner of this Fayetteville Super Regional in their first game in Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series. Returning to OKC, the action begins Thursday at noon Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on this year's Women's College World Series, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships.
If you have not been to Oklahoma City for that event, you have got to get there. A bucket list for sure.
First pitch swinging, and Miller lines it past third into the left field corner, trying for two. The throw a little bit offline, and enough for the Razorback catcher to cruise in for her fifth double of the season.
Arkansas just keeps coming at you. Jones gives it her best effort, stays low, but ball has too much pace on it. Good throw, would have had a shot here to get Kennedy Miller, but she's in easily with the double.
Madeline Matthews now in left field. It's funny how you just come into the game and the ball finds you in a hurry. So they're going to run for their catcher, Casey Wood, out to run at second base. The lineup turns over for the Razorbacks and Reagan Johnson. Arkansas pitching has already seen, I should say Arkansas hitting has seen 106 pitches now, and that bunt is a beauty. Close, safe. Kyrie Rodriguez made it as close as possible with the speed of Johnson down the line.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. The barrel's angled down, and that ball is just deadened. And so everybody's got to move to get the ball, but it's really a nice play from Rodriguez. And we're going to get a video review.
That play is under review.
This is Duke's second challenge. They challenged one early in the game on a play at first base, which they lost. Slow it down for you and see Johnson's speed, and the ball coming in for Baker. Is that foot down?
Looks like her foot is down. It's very close.
Oh, by an eyelash.
But it does look like indeed it is down at an eyelash for sure before the ball is in the web of the glove.
So again, the call on the field is safe. The replay looks to back that up. May not confirm the call, but it looks like it probably will stand at least. We get screened a little bit by the first base coach, Parker Staggs, who, by the way, was a coach for Duke last year and at Arkansas prior to that, but is now back here in Fayetteville. Here's the call.
After review, the call is confirmed. She is safe at second. That is Arkansas's second and final challenge.
So as you see, that puts Duke out of challenges. Again, your season's on the line. It's close. You make a quick decision. Why not? Didn't work out for a second time, but runners are at the corners for the Razorbacks with nobody out in the heart of the order coming up. Bain squares, and that's just a ploy to let Johnson, uncontested, take second base.
As we talked about earlier in the game, that is their best steal threat in that situation. Duke just trying to minimize the damage here, create outs with the batter. Big moment for Arkansas. They've left 10 runners on base so far in this game. They have put pressure on the Duke defense continually, but hasn't been able to really extend this lead out of reach. Have a good opportunity here to add to the lead.
And Wheeler falls behind Bain. 3 balls and no strikes. Duke just picked up a 2-run home run. Tyrena Jones in the bottom of the 4th to cut it to 4-2. Arkansas threatening again. And a 4-pitch walk to Bain, who walks for a second time today. And a 51st time she has walked this season.
And the walks continue to be the Achilles heel for this Duke pitching staff. We knew coming into today that Duke was going to need a much improved performance in the circle. They have definitely been challenged in this game so far. They haven't gone over the edge, so to speak, but boy, they've got a tough situation here. Mallory Wheeler really needing to keep the ball down. And that is her best pitch down in the zone. There's nothing more she would want right now than a ground ball to the infield.
He's hit a couple of grannies this year. Part of her 11 home runs as a team. They've hit 9 grand slams, including the one hit by Tiana Bell yesterday.
There's no breaks in this lineup, especially now in the heart of the order. The 3, 4, 5 hitters. Nowhere to put them, can't pitch around them, put them on base.
It's the 4th time that Arkansas has loaded the bases today. Win puts Arkansas in the Women's College World Series for the first time in school history.
And Arkansas, one of the best hitting teams in the country with bases loaded. Coming into this game, they're hitting .518 with the bases loaded, so they have made the most of those opportunities more often than not throughout the season.
With the runner, pitch runner at third base. Great speed with Reagan Johnson at second. Ridley Bain at first. Loaded up for McDowell with Bell on deck. 3-2 pitch. Bouncy ball up the middle, gets through. Wood is in. Here comes the second runner for the plate. Johnson scores. 2-run single for Ella McDowell. Her 54th and 55th RBIs puts Arkansas back up by 4.
This is just a 1-2 swing from Ella McDowell. Does not put a good swing on it, just puts enough on it. Gets on top of the ball. It's not even a full swing, but she was not about to let that call go into the umpire's hands. She was taking things into her own hands. This Arkansas team is playing loose and playing confident.
And the cleanup hitter, Tiana Bell, is up. She had a grand slam yesterday that really was the big hit for the Razorbacks, and hit a 2-run homer in the first today. Three balls, no strikes.
This is where Arkansas is such a dangerous team. You look down, here comes Duke. They get a couple back. They've got a little bit of momentum. And Arkansas gets those 2 back with more on the bases. This is a team that has won by run rule victory over half of their games this season. Not only strong in the circle and strong on defense, but most importantly for Arkansas, they hit up and down the lineup and can score runs in a hurry.
That will load them up for Dakota Kennedy. Duke pitching, which had 8 free passes, 8 walks given out yesterday, have walked 8 today. And that's going to bring a pitching change and get Marissa Jaquez into the circle for the Blue Devils. The Wheeler is finished. Jaquez has come in. Duke trailing by 4. Marissa Jaquez threw 79 pitches in yesterday's game 1. She is back out there here for game 2.
Well, Larissa Jaquez has been the most consistent pitcher for Duke in the postseason. And she's not going to beat you with her speed, but what she can beat you with is that spin. Gets a lot of mishits.
Always great crowds here at Bogle Park. They opened the gates an hour before first pitch, which we were supposed to play at 4 o'clock local time. Instead, we got delayed an hour to 5. But at 3 o'clock when the gates open, the main race is to get your best seat on the berm.
I mean,
that's first come, first serve.
It was unbelievable, just the lineup, and then when the gates open, yeah, it was like the Kentucky Derby going out there to get your position out there on the berm for sure, and it is packed. It is a packed house, as always, for Arkansas.
3,323, the announced attendance. They're loaded for Dakota Kennedy. She has reached base all 3 times up. Single in the first, double in the third, walked and scored in the fourth.
And there's that difference maker pitch for Jaquez. The off-speed pitch also has a little bit of spin on it. Big moment for Dakota Kennedy. You've seen her do something she hasn't really done in this super regional, and that is overswing, be a little ahead of herself. And after that right leg injury, she has been able to stay in the lineup as a hitter, doesn't play defense anymore, certainly hasn't stolen any bases, but she's widened out her stance. And that allows her to continue to drive from the ground up, and she's been very productive as a hitter.
Softly hit. Vega will take the out at first base. That brings in Bain, the 7th run of the game for the Razorbacks, and they're up by 5 here in the 5th. 54th RBI for Kennedy. We're going to run for Bell. With Jaden Wells. So Tiana back to the dugout, getting some high fives. Wells runs at second base. Runners at second and third. Still just 1 out. Harley Davidson, the Razorback hitter here in the 5th.
Well, it's getting to be that time of the game for Arkansas in the postseason with all the run rule victories. Harley Davidson had the walk-off home run yesterday. Boy, she gets another one here. That would put Duke in big danger going into the bottom of the 5th.
Crowd didn't like that call, but it's a ball and a strike. A 5-run lead here now with just 1 out. We are in the 5th. Keep in mind, any lead of 8 or more through 5 kicks in the run rule, which is something that Arkansas seems to do more than playing 7 innings.
Over half of their victories this season, and all 4 victories in the postseason, 3 in the regional, 1 yesterday, have been via the run rule. I mean, talking to the Arkansas players when we had a chance on Thursday, this is a confident team. They are ready, they are locked in, they are an experienced veteran group. And
pitch.
You know, the moment didn't feel too big for them. Like, hey, every time we ask them, like, is this going to be the team? Is this the year? Arkansas has been so close so many times. I mean, it was There was just so much confidence exuding from them. They felt like they have been prepared. Their schedule has made them battle-tested and ready for the moment.
They've only lost at home 3 times this year. They're 28-3 here at Bogle Park. Their only losses came in conference play, 1 to Florida, 1 to Georgia, and 1 to Mizzou. Three-two pitch. Right center. Out of here. She hit a 3-run homer yesterday, and Carly Davison adds another 3-run homer today. And now the lead is 8.
Yesterday she pulled the ball. This time she gets a curve ball up and away, a little bit elevated, and says, you know what? I can do the same thing to the opposite field. This Arkansas offense scores quickly and now are tasting that victory as they come closer and closer. They're at that 8-run mark. Duke now needing a run to stay alive at the bottom of the 5th inning. These fans are feeling it.
They've not gotten Davison out today. 2 walks, a hit by pitch, and now a 3-run homer. Carly Davison just has a knack for finding the spotlight in the really big spots.
She's been incredible in the postseason.
Davison's 3-run home run yesterday in the 5th inning that allowed them to run rule Duke. That's to right field and down for a base hit in front of Lamar. And Rios got herself a really nice game. That's 4 solid plate appearances. The only out was that one she smoked the deep center.
And it's the bottom half of the lineup for Arkansas. There's no breaks. No one can relax against this Razorback offense. A lot of times you play a team and the first 4 hitters, first 5 hitters, all right, and then it's, you know, a little bit hit and miss at the bottom of the lineup. Not for Arkansas this season, and specifically in the postseason. Well, something that we talk a lot about the Arkansas offense, and there's the brain trust behind it. That's DJ Gasso, the hitting coach here at Arkansas, and if his last name sounds familiar, it should. His mom's the head coach at Oklahoma, and brother, the associate head coach at Oklahoma. But DJ Gasso has just brought a life into this offense at Arkansas. Relentless with studying the game.
This one's deep to center, but will stay in the yard. Run down by Deanna Jennings. Well, Wyckoff, who re-entered the game, gave the crowd a thrill. That is out number 2, a long out number 2.
I mean, all of their outs right now are loud outs. And that's something that DJ Gasso just takes a lot of pride in, having quality at bats, being disciplined. I'm so impressed with Arkansas's plate discipline. They simply do not swing at pitches that are not strikes, their ability to draw walks. They're also 20th in the country in terms of free passes. And it sounds simple as a hitter, but swing at strikes. Well, it's, you know, it's what a pitcher's trying to do, is get you to swing at pitches that are moving through the zone, out of the strike zone. But I've been so impressed with Arkansas's plate discipline in this entire Super Regional.
A little flare out to Vega to make the catch, but now with a lead of 8, Duke has to score at least 1 in the bottom of the inning to extend the game.
And Carly Davidson continues her home run hitting power, this time to the opposite field. It's all Razorbacks.
The NCAA Softball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? The NCAA Softball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Bogle Park is ready to come off its hinges here as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, with Duke needing to score at least one to extend the game. Arkansas just put up a 6 spot in the top of the inning to take a 10-2 lead. Strike to Shattuck, 0-2. Shattuck leading off. 0-for-1 with a ground out to third. Duke had just come back with a 2-run homer in the 4th from Jones to make it 4-2. She did go around. The throw is going to go to first to complete the strikeout. Round number 1. ESPN, your home of MLB.tv. You can stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLB.TV. Down to their final 2 outs. Kyrie Rodriguez, the catcher.
What gets lost a little bit with this high-powered Arkansas offense is the job that Peyton Burnham has done in the circle today. She's been calm, she's been steady, she has been laser focused, and she's really used all of her pitches. Only given up 2 hits so far. Remember, this is a Duke team that comes in the top 5 in the country in terms of hits, and she's been able to shut them down.
Now there's the base runner that Duke needs. A walk to Rodriguez. That's the run they need to get in to at least extend the game.
And if you're Peyton Burnham, I mean, it's human nature. You can't help but start thinking about what this means, what the moment means. Knowing they're 2 outs away from getting to Oklahoma City, something that has just been elusive for this program, although they've been knocking on the door for years. And this is where, if you're Peyton Burnham, you have to treat it just like any other game. You're attacking the batter. You've got to refocus yourself after that walk. Create an out.
London Collins has come in to run for Rodriguez. 1 out. Jada Baker takes a strike. Tennessee, Nebraska have already punched their tickets to the Women's College World Series. Arkansas is trying to become the 3rd. Ground ball right side. From the outfield grass, the throw goes to second base from Davison. Everybody's safe. And Duke has put a couple of runners on here with 1 out.
I mean, this ball just has enough pace on it. Bell gives it her best effort. And how about that range out there from Davison? Really no chance to make a play, just hoping that Collins is taken off toward third base. But most importantly for Duke, they roll the lineup over to the top of the lineup. One of the best 1-2 punches in the country in Deanna Jennings, Amina Vega on deck.
With their season on the line. Comes the 0-1 pitch. It's going to twist back and get over the screen.
And Duke's been in these positions throughout the postseason. They had to win 3 elimination games coming out of their own regional, and some teams just know how to do that. They can elevate with their backs against the wall, and I can't think of a time where Duke's been more against the wall, and a huge strikeout from Peyton Burnham. Well, Burnham goes upstairs for this strikeout. Actually, it's her drop ball. Drops at the last minute, breaks away from the barrel of Jennings. She's been working that rise ball for the strikeout. This time it's the drop ball.
And it's on the shoulders of one of the great players in our sport, Amina Vega. And Arkansas 1 out away from their first ever trip to Oklahoma City. Popped up. McDowell chasing it. Super Regional bridesmaids no more. Arkansas is headed to the Women's College World Series for the first time in school history.
What a moment for Arkansas, the heartbreak for Duke, but for Arkansas, this is a moment they have been waiting for years. This team, this year, punches their ticket into Oklahoma City.
Their 5th Super Regional appearance proves to be the one that gets them to Oklahoma City. Let's take a look at this game's Capital One rewarding performance, and with all the hitting, it was Burnham in the circle.
Just steadied everything for Arkansas. Gave up only the two runs to a very good hitting Duke team, but she was able to calm the storm. Her defense played well behind her. What a big moment for Arkansas. Peyton Burnham and the entire team, head coach Courtney Deifel, as they head to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, like most SEC teams, they've been around since 1997. But here in 2026, they make their first trip to the Women's College World Series. And guess what? They're going to probably get Jordy Fromm when they take on Nebraska in their first ever Women's College World Series game. Well, I know this is a huge relief for one of the great young coaches in the sport. That mountain has finally been climbed and gotten them to Oklahoma City.
Well, congratulations to Coach Deifel. The Arkansas Razorbacks, this fan base got what they came for, and that's a chance to see Arkansas in the World Series.
For Carol Bruggeman and our great crew out, Mark Neely, thanks for sharing this one with us. Let's head into the Big 12 tournament title game, West Virginia and Kansas, with Clay Matvick, Mike Rooney.
was a big game, big moment. Coach Deifel hands you the ball. How were you able to stay so locked in, so focused throughout the game?
I don't know. Something switched. I don't know what happened, but yeah.
Take me through what was really working for you today. What did you feel was your best stuff?
My defense, honestly. Ella, locked it down at third. Tiana locked it down. Everybody really locked it down, but then just trusting my step through the zone and just spinning the ball and